Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. The latest Balance Dataslate came out last week and there was a lot of updated rules for pretty much every army in the game. I will be looking at more of them over the course of the coming weeks, but I wanted to today focus on an army that means a lot to me and which we spoke about the other day with regards to the points changes that have come in, and that is of course the Orks. The Orks have had some huge changes to their rules that have, in some ways, very much brought them back into some level of competitiveness, I think, in addition to their points drops anyway. And first up is the change that I said I was really hoping to see, and that is that the limit on their buggies has not been reverted entirely, but it's been changed so that now instead of being limited to one unit type of each buggy, it's just 3 models maximum. So you still can't run the old 3 units of 3 squig buggies, for example, but you can instead run 3 units of 1 rather than just being forced to bring 1 unit of 3. And what this means, of course, is that you can spread them out across the board. They are a lot more maneuverable through terrain, they are easier to hide, they're less of a big target, and of course, they won't suffer from morale anymore. So this change alone is a really big one, I think, and whilst I don't think it's enough to overcome the line of sight shooting nerf that's affected the squig buggy, I do fully expect to see 3 units of 1 scrapjet making an appearance back on the board, just for their ability to not only fire out a ton of shots, but also get up close and personal and do a huge amount of damage in melee as well. And what's going to make units like the Scrapjet even better at doing this is the other change that the Orks got, which is an updated version of their Waaagh rule. And this previously let you advance and charge, and then you got +1 attack on the turn you activated it, and on the subsequent turn you kept the +1 attack but you lost the advance and charge. This has now got a really big buff. It still gives you advance and charge on the turn that you call a Waaagh, but now in addition to the +1 attack, you also get +1 strength and a 5-up invulnerable save. And then in the following turn, obviously you lose the advance and charge, and the 5-up invuln drops to a 6-up, but you still get that +1 attack and that +1 strength. So this is a really big deal, and because it applies to everything with the Ork keyword, this isn't just core. This is your Death Dreads, this is your Battle Wagons, this is your Boys, this is your Grots, this is all your HQs, this is your Stompers. It is everything, and that's what makes it so incredibly strong. It essentially gives you 2 turns of just being able to crump almost anything in the game with that extra attack power from the extra attack and also from the strength. It really does push you to some really good breakpoints, and on top of that, it adds some much needed survivability to your army as well. And just as a little example, if you are in the Goths clan, which is arguably the best clan now, I think, your 10-point Snagger boys will now be swinging with 4 attacks each at strength 7 when they charge in a Waaagh. Your Squighog boys will hit that key threshold of strength 8 on the charge, so this is a huge boost, it really is, to your damage output. And whilst it may add a bit more of a decision as to whether you want to call the Waaagh turn 1 or wait to turn 2, because obviously even with advance and charge, a turn 1 charge is pretty difficult, so you have to weigh up the risks of going for that long bomb charge and hoping you get it off, or waiting to turn 2 when you will almost certainly get a reliable charge. But at the same time, you want to get the Waaagh off for that 5-up invuln to give you a load of durability against enemy shooting, so you kind of have to weigh off if you want to hold back and Waaagh in turn 2, or just do it turn 1 to weather the enemy attack and then get your charges off turn 2 without the advance and charge benefit. So it definitely does add a little bit more tactical play as well, which I really like. But all in all, it's just in general a fantastic buff. It doesn't fix all of the Orks' issues. Morale is obviously still a huge problem, but it does make your army, alongside the points drop, that little bit bigger and that little bit punchier when you've got the Waaagh going, and of course it gives you a huge amount of durability with that 5-up invuln for a turn. And I'll be honest with you, I really do expect to see certain units like the Squighog Boys, like Scrapjets, like Killer Khans, making a really big resurgence thanks to their newly improved durability and hitting power. So I have to say, well done GW, you've still got a bit of a way to go, but for me this really does make the Waaagh feel like a big army-wide powerful ability again. It makes it feel like a Waaagh should, and for Greenskins players everywhere, I think that is something that we can all agree on. It's what we really did want to see from the Orks, so it's good that they've buffed it to a level that makes it feel fitting with how a Waaagh would be in the fluff. But what do you think of this change? And what else do you think GW need to do in order to fix the Green Tide? Or do you think this has done it and the Orks are in a good place now? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me. But until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.